What screams, "I'm just pretending to be rich"? Number 1, me, at the grocery store, the day I get paid. Number 2, overhead the Walmart cashiers talking about a coworker who wears $10,000 designer sneakers. One coworker said he must be rich. The other said, then why does he work at Walmart with us? Number 3, I saw someone at a county fair wearing a plain black t-shirt with the word billionaire emblazoned across the front in rhinestones, accessorized with a big, gold $sign pendant on a giant gold chain. You could see it from orbit. So, that. Number 4, when I first moved to LA, my neighbors were 4 Persian guys in their early 20s living in a 2-bedroom place. They each had new flashy cars, designer clothes, gold chains, and hit the clubs. They used to come to my place to drink and watch some football because they had very little furniture in their place with no TV. They couldn't afford cable. Number 5, actually caring if someone thinks you're rich or not. Number 6, designer clothes with the brand's name all over it. Number 7, flaunting generic rich people things that literally anyone with an extra few $100s can buy at any time, like higher-end cigars or cognac or luxury fashion brands. Number 8, trying too hard. Most wealthy people are careful with their money. Most wealthy people don't need others to know how wealthy they are. The wealthiest folks I know all shop at Costco. No joke, it's a surprising trend. Granted, they're surely able to store all their Costco stuff in a massive walk-in pantry, but still. Number 9, you have to own fancy things like a Mercedes and name brand clothes but can't afford to do anything else because your status symbols take every penny you earn. Also, people who are constantly taking out loans and credit cards then boasting about their fantastic travels across the globe. Number 10, taking pictures of your money. That just screams, ROB me. Number 11, bragging about how much something costs. Every wealthy person I've ever met only brags about how much they saved. Never about how much they spent. Number 12, having a luxury car but a trash house. Number 13, I went to school with a guy who at 16 got a professional football, soccer contract. To be fair, he was majestic in his talent. I seen him in a nightclub 2 years later, we were both 18, and I congratulated him on his success. He then proceeded to mock the fact that I was wearing a mid-range watch and shown me his Rolex. But the success went to his head before he could play for the big leagues. He ended up partying too hard and fighting with everyone. He went to prison for 5 years for punching someone and causing severe damage. Lost everything. I seen him a few years back. In our 30s now. He still has an aura of I am better than everyone. But he biffed it due to his hubris. I'm far from being a rich man, but he's still acting like he has something over me, but in reality, he's just an embarrassing failure. A waste of talent and a waste of breath. Number 14, when they make fun of other people who aren't wearing designer. Number 15, wearing sunglasses indoors and calling everyone darling, like you're auditioning for a role in a movie no one asked to see. Number 16, open displays of ostentatiousness, bragging about who they've apparently met, had dealings with and the circles they apparently move within and openly mocking those they perceive as not in the same world as them. Number 17, I work with higher net worth clients and at first it shocked me at how the vast majority you'd basically never know they were wealthy. One of our biggest clients lived in a relatively modest house and drove an older car. I think they recognized money can buy freedom, but they had zero interest in being flashy or bringing any kind of attention. Number 18, I watched a video the other day of a woman who was at a salon getting a pedi, and her legs were covered in gold leaf which they then washed away with a bottle of Hennessy. So whatever the fuck that was is my answer. Number 19, carrying a large wad of cash around so when they pay for something they have to pull it out and flip through it. There will be a few large bills on the outside followed by mostly small bills. Like yeah, you got $500 in your hands. I have it on my debit card like a normal adult. It's not impressive, it's corny. Also a good way to make yourself a target. Number 20, Instagram influencers. If you're not an actual celebrity, I have a hard time believing you're living the lavish life you portray. Number 21, a lot of my old friends were hood rich based on dealing drugs. They all got fancy watches, chains, semi-nice cars, always posting about themselves being at the bars, but they either still lived with their mom or their apartments had little to no furniture and lacked any ounce of hygiene. Everyone could see through the facade except for them. Number 22. People that taste wine at normal places. I've worked as a waitress at both luxurious and normal places. The really rich people, like really rich people, bodyguard in a restaurant rich, usually are the most down-to-earth people that will leave a tip based on your service. The people pretending to be rich will taste 4 different wines at the most normal places pretending to know what they're doing, to not tip after because there were loud kids in the restaurant. Number 23. Being obnoxious/picky/loud/do you know who I am attitude. This just screams sudden rags to riches story or pretentious middle class. Old money is well-mannered. Number 24. Names their dogs Gucci and other designer names. Number 25. Flaunting money, cars, expensive things on social media. If you're actually rich, you don't need to do that. Number 26. When all they talk about is money, how do they make money, how do they cannot live without money, how people cannot do money. Number 27. Not complaining about the price of things. Every rich person I've ever met has been the cheapest, most tight-handed motherfuckers. That's how you get rich. Number 28. People who wear clothing and accessories from well-known brands, with logos or details that immediately catch the eye. Now, it's not that having luxury items is wrong, but when everything you're wearing is a parade of visible brands, the belt with a huge buckle, the shirt with the giant logo, the bag covered in monograms, it seems more like a shout of "look at me, I have money," than anything else. And, at least in my experience, it tends to be more of an attempt to show off than a real sign of wealth. People with real money often prefer to be more discreet. Number 29. Lexus sits in the driveway but she has to get rides everywhere because it's not running. This is definitely not about my grandma. Number 30. Buying expensive things just because they're expensive. I'm wealthy because I never stopped being poor in my mind. Number 31. I used to work at a club where most of the members were verifiably wealthy. Almost all of them drove an Accord or Camry. Number 32. When people keep the stickers or price tags on. Number 33. Newest iPhone, even for kids. Number 34. Having an expensive car with the check engine light on. If you can afford an expensive car, then you can definitely afford the repairs on it. Number 35. Everyone on Frontier or Spirit Airlines boarding with Louis Vuitton luggage. Number 36. Selling courses on how to get rich or invest, but instead of spending time on getting rich, spend it on selling courses because they are more profitable. Number 37. Trying it all. I grew up blue-collar AF and managed to have done nicely for myself. My youngest got to attend a very prestigious East Coast prep school for high school. Mind you, she was a financial aid kid. But the takeaway was the folks who were a tad more quiet and reserved, dressed nicely, but no flashy jewelry or labels and drove the beat-up Mercedes wagon, those were the rich folks. Number 38. Probably getting duct taped to an airplane seat after groping some flight attendants and punching anything all while screaming that your parents have $2 million. Number 39. Wearing designer clothes but still living with their parents. Number 40. When people wear ridiculously large jewelry or a lot of it. There is no way anyone wears 4 chains at a time for anything other than a flex. Number 41. I see a lot of people calling high-end fashion, but it's not quite 1 and 0. If you're fake rich, you shit on people for not wearing name brands. If you're real rich, you don't shit on others' choice of clothing, unless you're super rich and talking to other super rich people about why they're wearing an $8,000 suit as opposed to an $80,000 suit.